Good morning and welcome to Your Morning. I'm Ben Mulrooney.
And good morning to you. I'm Anne-Marie Meadowake.
So we've got a conversation coming up very soon that's pretty urgent for all of these Ontario college students who have been left quite literally in the cold during this strike.
Yeah, lots of factors. You know, tuition is one thing because a lot of people are feeling like it's now too late. But talking to some Ontario college students who are out right now saying they're trying to make the decision, do I just scrap everything and start over? Also, kids who have paid for residence. That money can't be reimbursed. It can't come back to you. A lot of them have just gone home if they're from out of the city. Yeah, well, we're going to do a deep dive into that in just a bit, and it's also our top story today. College students in Ontario expect to find out today if they'll be heading back to class anytime soon. This is day 32 of the strike, making it the longest in the history of the Ontario college faculty. Thousands striking faculty members at colleges across the province wrap up voting this morning on a proposed contract. The College Employer Council asked the Ontario Labour Relations Board to schedule a vote on the contract after talks broke down last week. The union representing faculty members wants them to reject the offer, but students are saying enough is enough.
I'm scared that things aren't going to work out in the end for us.
There are roughly 500,000 students desperate to get back to class. Some are carrying student loans, while others fear they won't be able to graduate in the spring. The teachers and their colleges have been battling over issues such as part-time work and academic freedom. If faculty members accept the contract offer, students could be back in class as early as Tuesday. Update is expected this afternoon on an ongoing labour dispute that has hundreds of thousands of Ontario college students left in the lurch. 12,000 faculty members have been striking since October 16th. Voting is now underway on their latest contract offer. It is the longest strike in their history, and it's causing a host of concerns for students who have been out of class all that time. Joining me now is Joel Willett. He is the president of the College Student Alliance, a student-led advocacy group. Good morning, sir. I can't imagine the level of frustration you and your membership are dealing with right now.
Yeah, the level of frustration that's going on across post-secondary right now is astonishing. From day one, we've been listening to students and their concerns through the College Student Alliance and have encouraged students to reach out to us to talk to us about this so that we can effectively advocate for them to both parties as well as the government to get students back in class.
So talk to me about some of the hardships that have been placed on students. It's been over a month.
Yeah, with this we have parents who have children in daycares who are now can't take their kids out of daycare and are being forced to pay additional fees for that. We have students who are back home but still paying rent, and how that looks like at the end of the semester if it's extended so that students can continue their studies, and they're going to have to pay more rent and more groceries. And the biggest thing is the mental health aspect that this is having on students.
Really?
Yeah.
At some point, though, there is concern, very real concern, about losing this entire semester, it being a write-off and having to start again.
That's been a concern since day one as well, and as we're in day 32 now of the strike, and as this continues, the anxiety around that continues to grow and grow and grow. We met with Minister Deb Matthews yesterday to discuss the Hardship Fund that has been put in place by the government for students, and we continue to share those stories about why the students need to be back in class and need the extra support.
Joel, I want to get a sense, I think our viewers would appreciate getting a sense of where your membership's, I don't know, where your heart lies. I want to talk about one of the main reasons behind the strike. The union says that colleges rely too much on part-time instructors, that they exploit underpaid contract workers who have no job security. Does your membership have any sympathy for that?
I think our membership, as well as all students across Ontario, definitely have sympathy for that. We understand that one day we're going to be in our careers, and some of us will rely on unions to be able to protect us and our rights to work. But at the end of the day, our students are what our priority are, and making sure that getting them back to class should be the first thing on the agenda.
All right, let's assume a worst-case scenario. Let's assume that the semester's a write-off. There's a proposed class action lawsuit on behalf of the students right now, saying that, you know, we haven't been able to continue our education. We're still paying for things we're not getting. What do you think is fair compensation for students?
Well, at this point, we absolutely encourage students to have their voices heard with the many petitions that have been out, this pending lawsuit. It's encouraging to see how active students have been in all of this, to have their voices heard at the multiple levels that this is affecting.
But sorry, I want to interrupt, but it's got to be frustrating for your members, because you keep talking about their voices being heard, and yet the only place where that voice really does matter is at the negotiating table. You've got three different dogs in this race, but only two of them get to participate.
Absolutely, and actually, yesterday we actually were able to have conversations with both Deb Matthews and Peggy Sadler on this issue, and the fact that students don't have a voice at the table, and both have agreed that moving into the future, students absolutely should, and how it could look in potential future strikes, hoping that obviously this type of strike never happens again, but ensuring that the voice of students is at the table during negotiations.
Ontario colleges are a wonderful place for mature students to continue their education. Are there specific concerns specific to mature students in this entire dynamic?
Absolutely. Mature students, I was a mature student when I graduated from my college, and we have families, we're leaving careers, we're leaving jobs to be able to better our future, and students who are facing that right now, especially mature students, they're facing so much added pressure from their home life and their personal life on top of this, that many have considered withdrawing and just going back to their previous careers and giving up hope on post-secondary education.
I got a very last question, but an important question. Does your membership believe that education should be declared an essential service?
We think that education is a priority in Ontario. We're constantly having those conversations that Ontario needs to put education at the forefront of everything moving into the future. And to say it's an essential service, education is such a priority to be able to contribute to society as a whole as we move into the future of Canada.
Well, we're going to have to leave it there, but we will absolutely be following this story very, very closely, and we hope that this gets resolved as quickly as possible. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
All right, you can watch our sister station CTV News channel for updates on this developing story throughout the day.